you pick players and they get you points based off of their performance in the game. So if they catch a pass, you get so many points for that. If they pass a certain amount of yards, you get so many points for that. What are you not understanding about this?
Who gets first pick?
It's a snake draft. You know what that is?
Okay, I got my first pick.
We haven't decided. There are other people involved in this.
I'll take the football player from Last Boy Scout who shoots everyone with a gun.
Not a real player. Aaron Hernandez is dead.
You know what, dude? You're fucking scared of my team already.
He's a scary man, but he's dead. You can't pick him anymore. You can't. He's undraftable.
No, I want the guy from Last Boy Scout.
God damn it.
What? Were you going to pick him?
No, God damn it. I work really fucking hard on these paint by number watercolors. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I get real excited, and I would think that you guys would get excited too. So I throw them on the beer fridge. I put them on the... I'm getting frustrated. I put them on the bulletin board, and somebody's ripping them up. Okay? I did a beautiful sunset, and somebody ripped it. My son has been ripped apart.
Did your wife leave you?
My son was ripped apart.
I could tell from those paintings that your wife left you. And I don't think you even have a wife.
You think I shaved my head and started doing watercolors because my fake wife left me?
Mm-hmm.
Did you shave your head?
Also, the quarterback in Last Boy Scout, wasn't that Billy Blanks?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take Billy Blanks. Thanks, Bones.
Not a fucking football player,
My
Kron.
son
on the board.
was ripped apart. All right, I'm taking Keanu Reeves from The Replacements.
It's not.
Damn
it's
it,
not
dude.
a
That was my next one.
It's not a goddamn movie thing. You can't pick fucking fictional fucking quarterback. You got to pick real fucking quarterbacks.
Why
Like
not?
Kirk Cousins.
But real people do that already. We're fake people. Let's pick fake players.
My guy
They
gets a
don't-
gun, dude.
All right.
I'm sorry, no one on your team's going to have a gun. They're
Yeah,
going to
man.
lose every round.
Okay, go again, Kron. Since I went,
He's
no,
already
it's a
picked
snake
the
draft,
guy
so
from
I get to go
Last
again.
Boy Scouts.
All right.
I'm going to take the kicker from Replacements. You got to have a kicker.
It's the only football movie you've ever seen is Replacements.
It's pretty fucking good, dude. It's got Gene Hackman.
I'm taking the guy that spits in the other guy's mouth on the program.
I'll take Rudy.
Out of bounds. He was out, so yeah. That's fine. You can
No,
have
but he's based on a
weak
real
pick.
guy, though.
Weak fucking pick, dude.
Doesn't count based on a real guy.
No, he's
Weak
going to
ass
pull the
pick.
whole
He
team
was
together.
out of bounds.
He's
He
going
was
to
out of
reload.
bounds.
He's going to reload the gun for the
Is
other
he
guy.
out of bounds or offsides?
He stepped out. Okay.
How many
Play's
points
done.
is that?
No glory.
5?
That's 5 points when they
Yeah.
step out? All
Well,
right, I'll take
you
them.
lose 5 points.
My fucking God. I would have been better just asking if you wanted to do the PGA draft. Jesus. No, you can't draft Jesus.
Passion of the Christ.
I want that linebacker that knocks out that dude's eye in any given Sunday.
I want to know if you can think of any more football movies.
Just like a fucking Dan move.
Yeah, you name 9. It's not good enough.
Necessary Roughness. Scott
Remember the
Bakula.
Titans.
Kathy Ireland. Sinbad.
Remember the Titans. Denzel.
Fuck. I've had...
Varsity Blues.
It was the first one I thought of, and then I kept it.
Friday Night Lights.
Little Giants.
There you go.
I'm taking the Icebox for my 4th pick.
What's the longest yard? Did we already
Shit.
do that one?
Okay, I'll
Which
do the
one?
remake.
Mine's the Burt Reynolds one. Oh, I'm drafting Burt.
Isn't Goldberg in there? I'm drafting Goldberg.
Okay.
I'd take Burt over Goldberg.
I think Goldberg can take Burt.
Nah.
Probably
No
not.
way.
Burt's too cool, dude.
No way.
I think we've come up with a pretty good idea here.
A fantasy
Movie.
football list.
Yeah. Actually, you guys aren't as stupid as I thought you were. Huh. Not bad.
Okay. Still didn't
Anyway.
answer me though.
Um,
Who ripped up my fucking painting?
it's
My
gonna
son
be-
was ripped apart.
It's going to be $75 a piece to play.
Oh, I'm out.
Karan, you gonna pay for Bones?
You gonna in the cold open?
I'm planning on winning, so I don't really need to pay in.
Okay, if that's the case, we're gonna charge triple. So if you decide.
Hey guys, I know we moved past it, but when Bones was screaming, somebody ripped my son apart, that really reminded me of this movie I just watched.
What was
This
it?
week on 5 Day Rentals, we're watching Silver Bullet. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the 5 Day Rentals podcast, the video store podcast, where each week we take turns picking a flick that we think meets a fun, non-genre specific category. This round's category is Wet Ass Busey. The films of anyone named Busey, I guess. Previously in this category, we watched Surviving the Game starring Gary Busey for 26 minutes. But guys, we're going to double down. We got a little bit more Gary in this movie. It's Silver Bullet from the year 1985, directed by Daniel Attias. I am Cron Howard. I will be hosting this week. I am joined, as always, by two guys who have had a meeting in the park where they've screamed at a crying woman, "It's not my baby." Give it up for Bones and Laundry Dan. How you guys doing?
Piss on the Yankees, piss on the Phillies, piss on the Indians.
It was the same woman, though.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You dirty dogs.
I was less yelling at her that it wasn't my baby and more just explaining her like biology, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like where I finished, biologically speaking, not possible. Those holes don't connect.
We were on opposite ends.
Of what?
The
You don't
human
wanna know.
centipede.
It was a wild night.
All right, guys.
You don't have no follow-up questions to that? That's a first.
How sharp was the dildo, I guess? You have no follow-up responses?
There isn't a dildo used.
All right, guys. We watched Silver Bullet. Was this a rewatch for all of us?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I thought so.
I only saw this for the first time 2 years ago, maybe. It was one I was always aware of, but just never came across.
This is a movie I've watched since I was a child. Very often.
I wish I would have seen this as a child.
Yeah, I think it's an R-rated movie, but
It was one of
it's kind of geared towards kids in a way.
it was one of the ones my dad was like, "You've never seen Silver Bullet? Like, we need to watch Silver Bullet."
You fucking loser.
Yeah, pretty much. And I was always allowed to watch Silver Bullet. So it's like,
Hell
fuck
yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my understanding is that director wanted it to be PG-13 and Dino pushed the R.
Yeah,
Some of the gore was increased later.
I think I read a thing that he pushed the gore and he also pushed for more werewolf in the movie.
Dan, in your notes, our Phantasm buddy was attached to this for a very long time.
Yeah.
And that makes a lot of fucking sense.
The Don wanted it more geared towards the book, though, which I guess is also illustrated as well.
It was a calendar. It was a calendar, or was going to be a calendar, and then a novella. And he wanted to do that, and it went through.
Going to be a calendar.
The original idea.
Yeah. Or the novella is kind of like it starts in January and goes through the year, the cycle of the werewolf.
Wait, so Stephen King's idea was like on January you get a little blurb, and then when you get to the end of the month you flip the page up. There's
I don't know if the book was supposed to be like in a calendar form or if it was like a legit sexy werewolf calendar where every month.
Trademark this guy, yeah.
The calendar story or the sexy werewolf calendar?
Sexy werewolf calendar.
Yeah, we'll start there. I think the story tells itself with the pictures.
I've talked about this on the show, right? That me and a bunch of guys our senior year of high school, we tried to do a calendar.
Like a sexy calendar?
Not like a sexy calendar, but we approached like a bunch of senior ladies and got a bunch of them on, and they were like, yeah, we'll do a calendar, and we were going to like sell it.
You've never told us this.
I've never okay. Yeah, we legit had like 3 or 4 photo shoots. Had one girl out on my 4-wheeler. Yeah.
What happened? Why didn't it get finished?
I think I might have to cut this out. Okay. My understanding was that it got to some counselors and potentially a vice principal and asked us that, or basically advised that it would be in our best interest to not keep doing it. That it would cause some issue. So I don't know where those negatives are. And they weren't by no means like sexy or anything. It was just like,
did you have to
these were girls you graduated with? Yeah.
Did you have to explain that to the principal? Like, look, these are not sexy photos, dude.
He was like, yeah, they are.
Well, that's anyone's interpretation, Bones.
Yeah.
Should we do that with all our podcast
I'm
buddies?
sorry, sir. If this is giving you a boner, that's on you. Not on the artist.
The calendar's giving me a boner. This meeting's giving me a boner. This is a damn sexy school we're at.
Educating children gives me a boner. I'm shaping minds here. I'm shaping something, sir.
I mean, we've always had pretty good ideas. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty smart, pretty entrepreneurial. I felt like I was just doing hands full of loose pills in high school.
Jerking off, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you needed whatever money you could get to replace your sister's pantyhose, right?
Yeah.
But you were ripping them in different ways.
Yeah. But
I was robbing stores.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds better. I wasn't wearing them or anything.
Yeah, you were.
Getting them caught on my toenails.
You answered the door one time and it was still over your foot.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what's that? And you're like, oh.
Yeah, I was trying to gauge how interested you were.
Seaweed.
No, I was trying to see.
Well, you gave up trying to take them off and they stopped at your ankles. And we noticed you walking very slowly to the door. You know, you were shuffling.
Yeah.
Like a little geisha.
Well, I also had the robe on, so. And my face painted. I thought you guys would like it.
I know, but I would think I was shocked by the cultural appropriation, less the, exploration of one's sexuality.
I think it was okay.
Why would I
'cause
judge that?
It's like I was sexual, but also intelligent. So I think the outfit just reflected that.
You were well read.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bio on your OnlyFans.
Yeah, sexy, but also intelligent. All right, guys. I say before we get into the movie proper, it's probably time that you both rate my Letterboxd.
Do I have an average?
As of this recording, a 3.2 on Letterboxd.
Dan, would you like to go first? I don't mind. Just being a polite geisha man.
I will.
You could never, dude.
I'm gonna give Quran a 4.0.
Same here.
All right, guys, we will find out at the end of this episode. But until then, this is Silver Bullet from 1985, directed by Daniel Attias. I think his only feature-length film.
Yep. But over like 100 TV credits or something. Literally wrote a book on directing television.
Yeah.
Ton of television, yeah.
Just seemed weird. Like, I don't
We
know.
had a rough time, I think, with this whole experience.
I feel like the movie's pretty competent. Like, he probably could have kept going if he wanted. Maybe he just didn't want to do it again.
My understanding is I watched two things about this movie, like two little featurettes. It's that Dino was not great to work with on this. That was like the big takeaway. Second was like the shocker that the Don was involved. I was like, oh, that something about the structure and the vibe, like it all sort of clicked.
Well, and you got
In a
like
way,
a
you know?
little kid protagonist. I could see Don Coscarelli doing a version of this.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we get some opening VO. The last full moon of that spring came a little more than a month before school let out for summer vacation. Our town's long nightmare began that night. Get a pretty sweet little opening synth line here. Get a little title card, spring 1976. We got this guy driving a sick little railroad car. That thing was pretty sweet, huh?
Yeah. This is the manager from Major League.
Oh, that's right.
He's having a couple brew dogs working the night shift.
Why not, right?
I mean, I have them during the day shift, so.
I mean, you're driving on a railroad. You don't got to keep it straight.
Mm-mm. You think it even has a steering? I guess. I mean, I think it had a steering wheel.
I
But
think
like,
it's
why?
I think it's just for you to put your hands on.
Mm-hmm.
Because people probably lose their shit when they get in there.
He kept referring to himself, his name a lot, though.
This guy?
So he was either super shit-faced or just
You
a
don't
weird guy.
refer to yourself in the third person when you're alone?
No.
Come on, Geisha Kron. Do better. You did not impress those businessmen.
Your bows suck.
You could fit in these hills.
He gets out. He starts digging around. I'm not really sure what he's doing. Like, he's digging a hole underneath the railroad for some reason.
He's fixing one of the...
Replacing a tie?
Yeah.
Guys, I really don't know how railroads work.
They seem pretty simple.
Yeah, it's to hold them up with the wood, and you go.
Train goes
Yeah.
on.
What are you changing though? What is this
You
guy
bring-
doing?
You bring oil to California.
You you pull out the railroad tie, or the spike, and then you undo the tie. Because I don't know. Maybe it gets wet, it gets
My
broke.
hands.
I don't know. It rots.
Yeah,
Okay.
wood rots.
You know. I think they used to try to protect them with like tar and shit, right?
Why don't we just put metal where the wood used to be?
Cost effectiveness, maybe.
maybe it doesn't even out as good as metal.
Yeah.
This country's
Vibration.
Or as good as
infrastructure
wood.
is fucked, dude. We can't figure out metal train.
I mean, maybe we do now. Maybe they're like, well, have you seen those machines that do it automatically that dig them out?
No.
Oh, look them up. Those things are fucking badass.
I mean, I don't even have a speed train to catch to a city. So yeah, we're fucked.
I should be able to catch the bullet train into work every morning, dude.
I should be able to catch the bullet train to St. Louis in like 45 minutes.
And have a cocktail in the evening when my workday's done and I'm heading
Shouldn't we
home.
have fucking flying cars? Why are you guys still thinking about fucking trains? I want a jetpack.
Train is more like old school luxurious. It kind of
Yeah.
fits with my geisha aesthetic.
You can't have a beer when you have a jetpack.
Why
Mhm.
not?
You just fly everywhere, you know?
No, I have 2 beers right on my fucking beer helmet, dude.
You know,
I gotta wear a helmet anyway.
all right, this guy's digging around. We can see something is watching him from the woods.
Well, healthcare is the main thing here, but we really need to put this drinking and flying law into place first, gentlemen.
Yeah, that you have to drink.
After my jetpack accident, I worked with Congress to pass a comprehensive jetpack helmet law.
I mean, I think it's ultimately a positive because you want your body loose when you hit the ground, you
Mhm.
know? You tense up. That's how you get hurt. All right, this guy looks over. He notices a big-ass footprint in the ground. Something comes out of the woods, guys, and knocks this guy's head completely off of his body.
Decapitation, bro.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I liked it.
He's never that strong the rest of the movie, though, is he?
No.
It
It
was
was
a baseball bat.
It is a little bit of a bummer. I feel like the best kill is the first kill.
Agreed.
Man. Yeah, we'll see.
All right, suddenly everyone in town hears a wolf call. And I mean everyone. The gas station attendant, the midnight barber, the entire town. Why is that guy doing barber work?
I'm glad you caught it as well.
It's midnight, for God's sakes.
You think they know?
That it's a werewolf?
No, kind of like in American Werewolf in London, like they know that it's.
I don't know. The whole town seems pretty off guard on this one.
Like this is South Carolina or North Carolina, I think. Hey, is there wolves there? I don't know.
Well,
We have a lot of downloads from North Carolina, so
When-
tell us if there are wolves there.
when he goes to the gunsmith and he gets the silver bullet
Mm-hmm.
and he's playing it off, the guy, or when he asks, like, what am I supposed to shoot it with? The guy's like, maybe a werewolf. That to me indicates that at least the town, like, there could also be rumors about it or whatever. Or maybe that guy's realization is like, oh shit, this guy knows what's been killing everything.
I thought he kind of had to go like out of town to get that bullet made, though.
It's possible. I don't recall that.
Because it's like, that's not just a guy selling guns. That's like a fucking metallurgist.
Yeah, it's like, what's his name from Tremors?
Mm-hmm.
He just does his own.
He's got a machine that does it, though.
Oh yeah, you got. I used to work with a guy that like loaded his own ammo.
Yeah. Well, that machine in Tremors that he loads, that's the cleaner. That's the brass cleaner.
Oh, gotcha.
We see a lot of it in the opening of Jack Reacher.
Mm-hmm.
That guy making.
That's a 5-star banger.
Yes, it is.
All right, this VO continues. The killing had begun. but at first no one knew it. Arnie Westrom was a chronic drunk, and what happened seemed like an accident. The county coroner concluded Arnie had passed out on the tracks.
At least he was showing up for fucking work, all right?
Yeah,
You gotta give him some credit. Come on.
that's what my coworkers say, dude.
He may be drunk, but at least he's here.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike Tina, who's 10 minutes late every day.
Sir, I could shit my pants at my desk, or I could shit my pants at home.
I'm just glad you're here.
What would you rather have? Results or a clean office?
We're working from home today, actually, so I don't know why you're here.
Get out of my home, for God's sakes. Oh, and also, Dan, Tina's late because she has to brush those giant teeth.
That's a doll, dude.
They're both big, and there are way more of them than a normal mouth has.
Yeah, big reveal from Dan this week.
I thought about it, and I was like, we actually have Tina on speaking on the show, so.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't work canonically. Point for Kron. Tina's not a doll. She's a
My
real
joke's
woman.
terrible. I will go back and try to erase that. I don't know where it's at. Sorry, Discord.
You were called out on it too.
Mm-hmm.
Was I?
Yeah, somebody was like, "Wait, what?" Like kind of pressing you on it, but I think it passed.
I
Like
just
most
let it soak
things.
in sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, you let it linger.
Yeah. I try not to do too much Discord, and then I feel bad because I'm not doing Discord. But then I do Discord, and nobody gives me any cool emojis. So I'm just like, yeah, why am I doing
I'm
Discord?
sorry. I can try to make an effort to give you emojis.
I don't want you to, or Kron. I want everybody else to.
Listeners, give Dan some emojis in the Discord. He's a broken man right now.
I'm trying over here, you know?
I think you're doing a great job.
We're not fucking charging you. Yet.
Yeah.
Maybe we should.
Yeah. I was a little drunk when I unveiled the plan.
Maybe if I don't get enough emojis, we'll start charging. Huh. How about that? How about that fucking threat? You like that? You like that, Discord? I should be doing this on Discord, not here.
Mm-hmm. And then you'll get a bunch of yes emojis. Get this shit off the air. Hide it behind a paywall. We cut over to the sick entire town cookout. This is Tarker's Mill. The sheriff of this town, Joe Haller, played by Terry O'Quinn. Oh, let's hope there aren't any puppets in this town with a score to settle.
Crying, this is the third fucking movie that is you have picked that's featured Terry O'Quinn.
This pin, what else had Terry O'Quinn in it?
Well, bye.
That's right. He gets up, he introduces the Reverend. His name's Lester Lowe. He starts giving a speech, but we really cut away from that. It's unimportant right now. What's going on is that we get introduced to our main character. This kid is Marty Koslaw, played by Corey Haim. He is wheelchair bound. He's hanging out with his dipshit buddy. They've caught a garter snake. As Marty's older sister, Jane, is walking up, they dangle, like his buddy's up in the tree dangling this thing down at her. She almost runs into it.
How the fuck do you not see Brady in that tree?
You're looking for your brother at ground level?
She's very annoyed that she has to take care of Marty here.
Yeah, well...
He's her burden.
Yeah.
She says.
No, he's a brother. Not burden. Brother.
Booger.
Would you guys take care of your brother if he's in a wheelchair?
Yes.
Don't just say that because it's the right thing to say.
I'm saying it because I'm a good person.
I don't have a brother.
Oh,
If
yeah,
you
me
did.
either.
I think for the next meetup, I'm just going to be in a wheelchair and force you guys.
No. I cannot be torn between a guy dressed as a geisha and a guy pretending to be in a wheelchair.
I'm not pretending I'm in the wheelchair.
My brain will go broke. Okay? Like it'll literally go so woke that my brain will be broke. I couldn't handle it.
I think you know where you're going to have a better time, though, right?
You're going to go crazy in your room while I'm screaming for Geisha Kron to come wipe my ass.
I know all the topics that interest you, and I have coy sex appeal.
No. Like Dan said, I'll be stuck in my room looking at my AOC poster, like asking for help. Please. Please.
All right. Jane falls over. She rips her stockings. Marty starts to apologize, but Jane cuts him off.
She's hearing the little clip, 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 clip of wooden fucking sandals up and down the hall.
Yeah, dude. That shit. Sexy as hell.
My fucking bell. Ding!
She screams out at Marty, "I hate you, you fucker." Jane runs off. She goes to another part of the fucking, I don't know, park they're in. And she sees this couple. They're having an argument. This guy is like, "Hey, that's not my baby. It's your oven, but it ain't my bun." This lady starts crying.
It's a good old-fashioned town whore.
I feel like she's sleeping with a married dude, right?
Yeah.
And she got knocked up, and now he's like, "Fuck this shit."
She cries louder than the werewolf yells at the beginning of the movie, and nobody reacts to that at all.
Mm-mm.
I always forget about this part of this movie. I'm like, oh, that's right.
I mean, she's kind of the saddest character we've had in any movie, right?
It's up there.
She gets impregnated from a married man who rejects her, and then she gets brutally murdered. That's her entire start to finish.
You think her mom was kind of happy though at the outcome?
I don't know if the mom knew though, right? Like,
I'm sure they're gonna do an autopsy and find out. And she's kind of like, oh, not wed, huh?
Do you think the mom, sadly, like, because she runs up there, and then she probably finds the note. She's like, "God damn, it's a brutal suicide that she committed."
Did she have a note?
I think she's like got a picture and a pill and like pills lined up. So I would assume that she left a note out there.
This is the era where people had a fucking 8x10 of the people that they liked.
And we're having an affair with.
Yeah. I don't think I have that I own a physical photo of my wife.
I have one from our wedding that's over there.
Yeah, but you didn't print it out.
No.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't think I've ever generated a photo and said, I'm going to put this on my desk or my dresser or my wallet. Nothing. Completely different era.
And what were those pills? They were red as hell.
Suicide pills.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about this?
Suicide.
Charging the people for fucking Chandler's drug overdose. Matthew Perry's drug overdose.
Because was it fentanyl or ketamine?
Ketamine.
Oh shit! They brought in like Ross and Rachel and Monica and
Monica's
Phoebe croaked, man, or not croaked. What's the word I'm looking for? She talked. She squeaked.
She sang.
She squealed.
Oh shit!
I don't get that, dude. My wife was like mad at me because
didn't they try to do it for Michael Jackson too?
He's
his
a
doctor get in
fucking
trouble?
drug addict. Like, he was the one taking it. And they're like, there's text messages that they're taking advantage of him and charging him $60K on this. I was like, he was getting paid $10 million a fucking episode. He can afford it.
I don't know.
He also really hasn't worked in like 30 years, Dan.
They weren't forcing him to do the fucking drugs. He was buying them. Maybe
I mean, I guess at the very
put it
least,
in the Discord and emojis. I'll figure it out.
you could probably charge the other people with like, you know, intent to sell and shit like that. But
Yeah, like charge the drug dealers and shit. I
Medical
get that.
malpractice for sure.
yeah, I don't know if you can.
It's like, dude had a part in it as well, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and he paid the price.
Well, he didn't think he was. He's just...
The relapses are always the one that get you, right? I mean, they're always harder.
He's in a K-hole in a hot tub and we're like, this is awesome. Then it wasn't. You think he was cooked?
I think I'd rather go out by werewolf.
I don't know. I mean, he probably. This is too dark. I don't want to.
It's a real guy.
Gotta change the subject.
You think Gary Busey should be a fucking werewolf, though, after this movie, right?
I don't know how it passes from person to person.
He's only slashed, though. Is he bitten?
I don't think he gets bitten.
I thought it didn't matter if you were slashed or bitten. I thought it was just...
I thought it had to be a bite.
Well, and if you kill the one that gave it to you, doesn't that undo?
Dude, I still have no idea how I'm one. So,
yeah, it's 2
who
seasons
knows?
ago.
All right, this lady is crying. She keeps saying, like, you gotta help me. All this shit is sad. Once they get home, Jane is helping Marty out of the car. He asks if Uncle Red is still coming over. She's like, Uncle Red, your great uncle. You know he's getting divorced for a 3rd time.
Good for him.
Mom says he's a chronic drunk.
I mean, I can't disagree with that.
And then Marty's like, but the doctors are the ones giving it to him.
Mm-hmm.
This is the 70s and you've had 3 divorces. I could see your family like, maybe you shouldn't hang around with
Judging
that guy.
you? Yeah.
That's prescription wild turkey. Doctor says I needed to keep my bones lubricated.
I mean, we'll get there.
That night, Marty goes into Jane's room. He drops off like $2.16.
Oh, it's
he
fucking,
apologizes.
It's crushing, man. Anybody who's ever had a sibling, this is a crushing scene.
He says
it's good, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is good.
He's a good guy.
He says it's for new pantyhose. He hopes it's enough. It's pretty goddamn adorable. She's like, I only need $1.40. Gives him half of his money back.
His legs ain't working, but his heart is.
Good one, Dan. Did you write that at work today?
No.
All right, we cut back to that pregnant lady from before. She is distraught. She takes an entire bottle of pills. Outside, we can see, I guess the wolf climbs the lattice work.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Seems like he'd be too heavy for that, right? If you're wolfed out.
He looks pretty slim.
They used to build houses the right way, dude. You know?
It's still lattice work.
That's real lumber, dude.
Yeah. That's fucking oak lattice, not pine.
It's what, like 30 seconds thick?
I ain't manufactured.
All right, anyway, he gets into her room. He jumps through the window, kills this lady good. It's pretty gory. He's scratching her up.
I like
blood
that.
everywhere.
I don't feel like in werewolf movies they show enough of like the actual scratching. You know what I mean?
I'm inclined to agree. I think we're due for a new really violent werewolf movie.
Oh, good. They're remaking Wolfman.
Oh, cool.
This ain't your dad's werewolf movie. This one scratches a shit ton.
But the hands seem, I don't know, hands, claws, they seem to be tough to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want dexterity. I want throats grabbed, ripped out, people ripped in half.
I mean, which one do you think's gotten it the best? I guess American Werewolf, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. I prefer a bipedal werewolf versus the, four-legged American Werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
So you like that's a scarier werewolf. I don't know. I feel like this is a good werewolf. But yeah, it just stands on two legs, I guess.
I think that's more terrifying because it's going to have more dexterity. It's going to be better at climbing and shit. Whereas if it's more like a wolf, I feel like it's just a big dog. Still terrifying. Actually, Everett McGill in the suit as well.
I'd believe it because it a lot of times it looks like a man in a suit.
Oh shit! I might have just spoiled the movie for those only listening.
I haven't seen Silver Bullet. Come on.
We cut over to the town bar. Seems like everyone is here. This is a town full of alcoholics, dude.
This is a town full of people that care about their fucking town, Kron, okay?
This is the type of town I wish I lived in. I wish I could go to a tavern and shoot the shit with all the guys my age,
I wish I could have a beer with you and we can discuss the sheriff and say his name because I don't know who the fucking sheriff is of this town.
Joe Holler?
No,
Haller?
Not of this fictional town, of my actual town. I can't.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, I'm not that involved of who the fucking sheriff is.
Isn't that a real shame? I don't know my own sheriff's name, and I know Sheriff Joel Haller from Silver Bullet.
Well, that's because you voted in the fantasy election.
What has this community turned into? Let's see. This one local guy, Andy Fairton, he's running his mouth that the Sheriff Joe Haller can't keep the town safe.
Oh, he's involved? Is that what you're trying to say? Involved?
What?
Not running his mouth, he's involved. He cares about his community.
He's running his mouth, dude. This guy's just stirring the pot.
There's a thin line, Dan.
Doesn't pay his taxes. He's a piece of shit.
I love that old dude calling him out.
He must have caught up.
Let's see. He keeps saying Joe can't keep the town safe. Somebody ought to do something about it. The bar owner, Owen, brandishes a bat with the Peacemaker carved into the end of it.
Recognize him, Kron?
Keep it civil. Yes, this is Lawrence Tierney. Previously in Tough Guys Don't Dance.
Thank you. One of my personal favorites of Kron's picks.
Yeah.
Murder 1, dude.
Yeah, I know.
It's the worst one, Bones.
Yeah.
Cut to Marty. He's crushing. What? He's coming home from school in his gas-powered wheelchair.
He's crushing this fucking romance with this chick, dude.
That's true.
Kid has game, man.
He's got Riz.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's the Rizzler.
Yeah, that was stupid, dude. Don't say that again.
God damn it. He's helping this girl home from school. She says she was too scared to walk past the pregnant lady's house. What?
Oh, that's later where she points to the Pottery Barn. She's like, yeah. I heard shit over there.
That's exactly my next line.
Sorry.
So when they get to the house, she's like, I keep hearing shit from my, the greenhouse that we have on the property.
Must
Cut
be
over to-
huge.
I think it's 2 stories, to be honest
So
with you.
I was like, does this fucking thing got a basement or some shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why your greenhouse needs a basement, but he's
That's
probably
where you
growing
grow the weed.
Yeah,
It's
he's
a-
growing weed down
Oh,
there.
good call. Yeah, it's a cellar at least tall enough for a werewolf to stand.
Mhm.
This does not seem like the type of guy that owns and operates a greenhouse, though.
I guess if you're growing weed in it and selling it, like,
That's a good call. Yeah, I'm glad they set up one person in the movie that you're kind of happy gets it.
mhm. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a real
he's-
piece of shit.
He's got some shitty views. But he is watching some fucking classic NWA wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that hurts my parts.
You think he was watching the Iron Claw guy?
I was really hoping that in my research they would like name like who those wrestlers were in that match, but I couldn't find anything. It wasn't Ric Flair, I'll say that much.
Was he NWA?
Yeah, he's NWA champion for a very long time, and plus North Carolina. Woo!
All right, guys, we cut over to Marty. He's hanging out with Uncle Red. This is Gary Busey. Uncle Red is mid-joke. He's slamming some wild turkey. A real glimpse into the future for one of us. These two are playing cards. Marty ends up winning. And then Uncle Red is like, that's bullshit luck. Bullshit luck.
You can't bet managers. How many fucking times I got to tell you? You can't bet managers.
Uncle Red says goodnight. Marty's mom helps him up the stairs.
She says to him, like, you can't be drinking in front of Marty. And it's one thing to like drink a beer or something, or have some beers in front of some children. This dude is swigging from a wild turkey fucking bottle, dude. Like,
Yeah.
that's a whole nother fucking level.
Well, if no one else is having any, you know.
He brought it for the family.
Plus, it's a natural disinfectant. I mean, the alcohol content.
That's
so
probably
high.
why he hasn't turned into a werewolf.
Mhm. Yeah, you
His
cured
blood
the-
alcohol just fucking sanitizes everything.
Mhm.
If we went to any party and we seen a guy swigging from a fucking wild turkey bottle, we'd be like,
Kron.
that guy's got some fucking issues.
Fucking face paint's running.
Mhm.
My feet is swelled up.
All right, Marty's mom, Nan Kosla, she tells Red, I don't want you drinking like that in front of Marty. Red fires back. You need to realize there's more to Marty than him not being able to walk.
Either can Red.
Improvised sequence here. This exchange.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. I think the finest bit of acting in the movie is, well, actually, I think the best performance in the movie is Corey Haim. Carries the movie. But from Busey, the shot of Haim riding up the little stair lift and they're making faces at each other. And then right as he clears the wall and Busey realizes that he can't see him anymore and his face drops and he turns. Oh. Gets me every time.
Marty's mom is like, you just blow into town once a month. You don't know what Marty needs. This kind of offends Red. She says, I just don't want Marty giving up on life, and you don't need to give him an example of how to do that. Heartbreaking.
Burn, dude.
All right, we cut back over to that fat guy from earlier that probably grows weed. He's slamming some beers and watching pro wrestling. Hey, a real glimpse into the future for all three of us.
Are you going to have a gun rack in your house?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, but I can drink beers and watch pro wrestling, dude.
And I'm growing weed.
Mm-hmm. That means you got to do the gun rack thing, Dan.
It's already there.
He hears a noise and goes out to investigate.
Busting my pots, I'll bust your ass. I hope you're in there. I hope I get to shoot somebody. Busting my pots, bust your cap, bust your ass, busting my pots. I think he says that like a dozen times.
How the fuck is he growing ferns? Like,
Yeah.
that's all you see in there.
They're
Yeah,
hard to kill, man.
It's the kind of ferns that you roll up and smoke, Dan.
That's the bottom level.
This guy's poking around. He's, shouting a bunch of shit. He's got his gun out. Eventually, he does get attacked by this menacing werewolf. It's kind of this crazy scene. The werewolf pops up through the floorboards.
Yeah.
A floorboard splits in half. It's poking up into the air. And the wolf just drags this guy's body down onto it, impaling him.
It's awesome.
It's a good blood spray in this.
Yeah.
We cut around to the town in general. Everyone's a little on edge. People are getting their kids into their houses earlier. Little old ladies are panicking to unlock their doors in time.
They really hold on this lady, huh?
Yeah. It's basically like if you're not in your house by the time the sun goes down, you might die.
Unless you're flying a kite. That's a pass. You can stay as late as you want if you're flying
That's
a kite.
freebie.
Yep.
We all agree if you got a kite in the air, you are safe.
If the kite is in the air before the sun goes down, you may maintain your position.
Mm-hmm. Jane tracks down Marty. She tells him dinner is ready. Or dinner was ready an hour ago. She's like, you better come back.
And she's in
Marty.
trouble because she didn't find him soon enough.
Mm-hmm.
You do feel for her a little bit.
Yeah, she's got a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
Like, she can't really go ever do all the kid shit she wants to do because she's responsible for Marty.
I do wish Red was I get why Red is as supportive of Marty. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. But I do wish he would have, like, in the argument with the mother, said, like, you're not really raising fucking Marty.
Yeah, you got Jane doing everything. They head off. Marty's dipshit buddy stays behind to fly his kite for a little while. We cut over to the bar. The deputy is getting ready to throw hands with that motormouth guy from earlier. When all of a sudden this bald man walks in and asks, has anybody seen my son? We cut to Sheriff Holler. He's holding a bloody kite. Just keeps repeating the Lord's Prayer over and over. We cut over to this dipshit kid's, his name is Brady. I finally wrote his name down. We cut over to his funeral. Yeah, dipshit.
Oh, the sheriff tries to stop the father from going into the gazebo. And I will say, if you're in the mood, the guy's like parental terror scream starts off pretty funny. And then it comes back around again to being like absolutely fucking heartbreaking. Because he, in his like belt, he even lets out like what cracks into almost a laugh, which sort of sells it. It's crazy. But I was watching it with Sam, and she started to laugh. She was like, this is, oh, shit. And then immediately came back around to, oh, that's fucking heartbreaking.
At the funeral, Uncle Red, he's like, maybe I should just take Marty home.
Dude does look like he's 70 years old.
Busey?
No, father of Brady.
He he doesn't look like he's really bald, right?
Nah, does he have like hair?
I think he's
It
got
might
the
be like a
Picard.
cap.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause, I noticed that too. I was like, oh, what is that?
Well, his face looks 30. The rest of his head looks 65.
Yeah, because he's not really wrinkled.
Yeah. He looks like a younger guy that they dressed up to look like an older guy.
He looks like the Six Flags guy.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
What was that song?
That's this is going to be wrong, but I'm at least going to start it. Isn't it like a dun, 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 dun?
Oh, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. I think that sounds very familiar.
Yeah, yeah. Right?
My kid's been begging me to go to Six Flags.
Fucking go, dude.
I'm going to wait for Fright Fest. I'm like, it's too fucking hot, dude.
What about Kite Fest?
Nah, too many werewolves.
We're going to scare you so bad you'll never want to come back here.
That's the point, Kron.
Scare good. Hey,
It's a river of blood, Dad.
Hey, you guys can hit these kids a little, right? You guys can strike the children, right? That's okay.
I remember. Has anybody else been to Fright Fest?
Nope.
No.
Really? I think we went once.
Maybe I'll go this year since we'll be done before then.
No, I'll let you know when we're going. You can meet us up there.
Yeah. Now I got Raining Blood stuck in my head.
Uncle Red's taking Marty home. He says they better catch that guy. Marty says, what if it's not a guy? What if it's a monster? A werewolf
kind
or
of
something?
monster?
Mm-hmm.
This monster
lives.
Red says, nah, it's some psycho.
Hold on, let me go get a trash can lid to bang.
Are you Slipknot now?
That's the Saint Anger snare.
Oh, yeah. I put that album on the other day. I was like, does this thing sound as bad as I remember it sounding? And it does sound bad.
Oh, I don't mind it.
That's a good album.
I think it's lyrically one of their strongest albums.
I mean, there's good stuff about it, but there's stuff that just sounds wrong in like the recordings.
And Kirk's right. It's missing solos.
I'm still kind of mad we didn't get Dirty Window at the live shows.
Yeah. I really can't complain. They played like fucking 35 songs across 2 nights. It's pretty great.
It was a good show.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we cut back to the bar. Andy is arranging a posse, and we're going to arrange a pissy. It's a piss break. All right, welcome back, everybody, to the 5-Day Rentals podcast. We are knee deep in the middle of Silver Bullet.
Not right now, we're not. Kron, it's the Hustler Minute. This week we've got Candace, selected for her wild-like mane.
Wow.
Bit of modesty in this Hustler card.
Oh, I'll show you the back in a moment.
Okay, good.
Statistics: 38, 24, 34, 5'5", 114 pounds, born 1967.
I think we call
Hustler.
those measurements, right?
What?
Call those measurements, not statistics.
I mean, this card says statistics.
Oh, okay, fair
I mean,
enough.
this is official.
Must be your SAT score.
Mm-hmm. Hustler layout, December 1967. Excuse me, 1987. This professional dancer says that she will probably retire in about a year.
Oh,
Hey, we're going to
Why?
retire in less than then. This entrepreneur wants to open her own nightclub in Canada and collect the money rather than just make it.
Oh.
Oh boy. For explicit one-on-one with other girls, call 1-800-775-5885. And as we know, lines are still open.
Live and kicking.
Back of the card for you fellas.
Whoa.
Oh.
Inviting what we may refer to as standing doggy.
Bend in a pole.
Oof.
I think I need a milk crate for that.
Yeah. For 5'5", she's got some legs, boys.
Oh, what you doing with your beaver, eh?
Thank you, Kron. And that was your Hustler Minute.
All right, guys, when we left off, Andy is arranging a posse. Sheriff Holler rolls in. He tries to shut this shit down. He says, I'm the law in this town. Everyone here, just go home.
Well, the problem was that he was throwing his voice. He was trying to speak through a doll in the corner, and nobody took him serious.
You guys aren't doing things the right way.
This is what you're doing. Pirate justice. You guys are doing pirate justice.
It's terrifying. That would have been fun if they had a tie-in where he just had like a human-sized doll in his office.
Ben?
Mm-hmm.
I guess, wait, okay, this is 85. 88 is Penn.
But he's wearing like a little sheriff's hat.
Yeah, but canonically, this is what, 76?
Oh, shit.
So
yeah.
he put himself through medical school as a sheriff. Well, up until, he may or may not die.
Everyone's kind of convinced with what Holler is saying. They're kind of getting ready to go home. But then Brady's dad walks in.
Does a little dance in front of a school bus.
He tells Holler, just shut up. My boy was torn to pieces.
I was trying to think of the song. Pieces. Was that Velvet Revolver?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, what is that? Like Shine Down or some shit? It was Velvet Revolver. I fall to pieces.
Mm-hmm.
That's spot on.
I believe you.
Oh, I should have sent it today. Shit.
Yeah, now you got to wait a whole week.
Fuck. Pretty good 3, though, today, by the way.
Yeah.
What Dan is referring to, listener, every morning on the day of record, Dan is kind enough to send us a Spotify link to a song that he has deemed connected, or what's the word I'm looking for? Inspired somehow by the episode or the movie that we will be chatting. And Kron and I have now taken to almost racing him today.
Yeah. It was like 6:30 this morning.
Yeah, it's the first thing I did when I woke up today.
I was like, God damn.
I had 5 free minutes where I could stand in the kitchen and make a cup of coffee.
My selection was Booger by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs.
Mine was Little Red Riding Hood by Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs.
I don't even know what
Yours was an oldie as well, I think, Dan.
Right? It was a girl group, Wild Turkey by Birdsong, I think. Or Blackbird, maybe?
Yeah, it's not an old song, but it's playing. It's Wild Turkey 101 by Bird Cloud.
What's the year on it?
Okay. 2018.
Oh, shit. Okay.
All right, this guy, he gets everybody all riled up again. They head out. They're going to go find this killer one way or the other. Outside, the Reverend, he runs up. He's trying to break all this up as well, pleading with everyone not to do this thing. He is unsuccessful.
Dude, this is like a oneer. Did you notice?
I didn't notice.
So one was it?
It's all one shot, dude. Like when they come out of the tavern, it's all one shot.
Wow.
It's pretty fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
This is where we really get like that fog, baby.
Yep.
If you like fog, yeah, this will get you some wet ass fog right here.
Yeah, turn off The Fog by John Carpenter and turn on Silver Bullet.
I mean, that could be a double fog feature, if you ask me.
When I read that,
God, I gotta have a fog category.
when I read, what was that called? Assault on the System. It's a book about John Carpenter.
Huh.
When they got to the fog part, like they had a excerpt from an interview, and he was like, "I fucking hated working with that fog." He's like, "You try to send it one direction, the wind blows it another." Like, it was the worst fucking shoot.
I thought you were going to say when you got to that section of the book and you turned the page like you got a fucking face full of vapor.
Yeah, there was
Interact. It's like a pop out.
a lot of the book was hollowed out, and it was just it shot a little puff of fog into your face.
I mean, the amount fucking Carpenter was smoking then, he probably
Added to it.
he's probably that fog is probably 15% Carpenter exhalation.
Yeah. Let's see. We cut over to the hunting party. They can't get.
Is the fog good?
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's good.
It's like mid-tier Carpenter.
But
It
still good.
starts out really good.
The opening is great. And
then-
Adrienne Barbeau, or what's her name? Barbeau?
Yeah.
Barbeau?
Barbarella.
Barbeau? She's hot as hell, and you get a lot of shots of her just being a disc jockey up in a fucking light tower. That stuff's good. That stuff works. But it's like once the pirates show up, it's kind of like
I think it picks itself up for a good ending. It starts off strong and ends strong. It's just your middle is a little lackluster.
Yeah, I think I'd be inclined to agree that it's mid-tier
yeah.
Carpenter, but still good, I think.
I mean, I'd probably put like 7 or 8 other Carpenter movies over The Fog.
Ghosts of Mars,
Mm-hmm.
Vampires.
The Ward.
The Suburbs.
Whatever Invisible Man movie he did with Chevy Chase.
Connor, are you excited for this new thing?
No.
Oh, all right.
What are they doing? Like a sequel?
I think he's supposed to be like doing a new commentary, maybe? I don't
Oh,
know.
I would be fine with a new commentary. I don't
I
need
don't
like a
fucking
new
remember.
Thing movie.
No, it's a re-release of maybe like a still book, maybe? I don't fucking know. Don't hold me to that. Don't fucking eat me up.
I can
Discord.
only get so hard, dude. Oh.
Are you all right?
8K Steelbook. Oh.
This is Chrono.
Oh.
Are you just like a general?
He's a fanboy?
Yeah, are you like a general
Oh.
physical media
Physical
fan?
media man. Oh.
I was having an issue with my television and the Apple TV to turn it on. It was
Oh, you're
Getting
turning me on.
stuck.
Tell me more.
I don't know what it is, hon. It keeps pulling up pornography every time you flip it open.
I had to order a 8K HDMI, and I was like, that's not even real. That's not a thing. But I could go on Amazon and order an 8K HDMI.
Did it fix it?
No, it did not. I actually read something like you got to change your fucking change it down to 720 because your TV's older and it's not going to work with the Apple 4K. So I had to do that and then it fixed it. But I was like, 8K is not a fucking thing. Like, how are they selling 8K HDMI cables?
I thought it was a thing.
Is it a thing?
Maybe it's like, I mean, I don't know of any release or broadcast that is 8K compliant.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, it's...
I guess right now it's like a theoretical possibility, and they'll sell you a cable that can handle it.
I mean,
coming soon, but we already got the cable.
I'm far from the fucking physical guy here, and I was aware of there being 8K. Like,
yeah, but are there like releases that you can buy that even, or can you buy an 8K TV?
Well, the NBA Finals are going to be in 8K this year.
I mean, there's, as of 2019, some mobile phones started having 8K.
Oh, that's the best way to watch stuff anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Or like T-Mobile.
There is, yeah, man. I think it's a fucking thing. I mean, the PS5 supports 8K graphics.
We don't even have
You guys
fucking
are-
PS5 games in
You guys are going
right
to get
now.
ripped so hard.
It's like, let's remake all the PS4 games and just create a console called PS5. But
Yeah.
really, it's just a PS4.
I mean, I'm looking right now. There's Best Buy 8K televisions.
when are we going to start questioning this shit?
I think you are right now.
I think we're getting ripped, bro.
I mean, I still,
I can't tell you the fucking difference between 1020 or 1080 and fucking 4K, dude.
I have
Is it just my eyes or?
I still buy mostly Blu-ray. Like, I have very few 4Ks just because at that point it's like the only benefit I get from it is if I actually put the disc into my PlayStation and put it on the like, I would rather just rip it and watch it anywhere I might be.
It's capitalism, right?
I think they're going to keep upgrading shit to.
I think
How
they
else are
just
they gonna
throw shit out, and I think the 4Ks are just Blu-rays, dude.
How else are they going to sell you Silver Bullet for a third time?
Well, that's me. I'm not double up. I don't do it.
Oh, so you still have all your DVDs?
Well, apparently you have an 8K cable, so
I
you're
do have an
you're
8K
halfway
cable
there.
Yeah, the hard part's done.
for my 4K Apple TV.
Now
Into
you
your
just gotta get
720 TV.
Now you just got to get the TV and the Blu-ray player.
I got an 8K HDMI to a 4K Apple TV that is streaming in 720.
All right, guys, we cut over to the hunting
America.
party. They can't get a beat on all these
Dan,
animal sounds.
The
they're hearing.
computer that I edit this podcast on is more powerful than what landed on the fucking moon.
Because we never landed on the moon.
Ah,
guys.
Jesus Christ. Sorry, Kron. That was not worth slowing you down.
They start getting picked off. They
Have you
get
seen that moon buggy, dude? There's no way that thing's on the fucking moon. There's no way.
That would have been so fucking cool.
Hmm. Yeah, just cruising around on the moon.
Yeah, man.
It'd be fun as hell, dude. Take that buggy off a sick fucking dude.
That's how they get you.
She would be tight as hell. And you know the gravity's all fucked up, so
What was
probably
the
catch like 30 feet of air.
What was the James Gray movie where they'd have like the shootout on the moon buggies? So Brad Pitt.
Ad Astra?
Ad Astra. Pretty good. Not bad,
I
actually.
never saw it.
I wanted to pick a moon movie for the London category.
What else did you have in mind? You had a wrestling pay-per-view.
Uh-huh.
What moon movie would have picked?
Moonraker.
Now you're just pissing bones off.
It's not in London. It's on the moon. Doesn't count.
You might be surprised to find out that they actually never make it to the moon.
Really?
I think you'll be surprised.
They don't make it to the moon in Moonraker?
It's mostly just kind of just outside.
How are the theaters
Earth.
not burned down?
I think a ship eats another ship.
Yes. Several
Well,
James Bond movies open with some sort of vehicle consuming a smaller vehicle.
It's at least in space then.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
it's not in
There-
London.
Yeah. I mean, there's some part. Yeah. Quit talking about it.
You're getting them hot.
Just watch it. Yeah. Oh, God.
All right, all these hunters, they start getting picked off one by one. They get separated. Owen, the bar owner, he gets beat to death with his own peacemaker bat. So the wolf's got thumbs.
But he's a human, dude.
Yeah, but he's in wolf form.
Yeah.
I mean, dogs have thumbs. I got
it just fucking
Dogs don't have
extends.
thumbs.
You watched American Werewolf in London.
Okay,
It
when he goes
comes
back to a person, it would extend. When he goes to wolf, it would shorten.
No, it would just get longer.
What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
You need
Wolf-
to
Wolves and dogs don't have thumbs. You guys have fucking dogs. Go
They
look at
got a
them.
fucking.
They have
They
a
don't have a
fucking
thumb.
thing
They
up
don't have a
here.
thumb.
I'll show you.
All right. Show
Now-
me your dog holding
now,
a
a lot
pistol.
of dogs-
Fucking-
a lot of
Fucking guy
dogs-
that doesn't have a fucking dog.
A lot of dogs, they will snip those off when they're early or when they're young. But my dog still has. It's fucking weird when he runs around.
All right. Show me your dog
It's
gripping something,
Okay.
and I'll believe you.
I'll take a fucking picture of it tomorrow.
Okay. Cool.
Cause shag ass,
I'm
has
serious.
one.
I came home the other day. Murphy was doing a fucking kaleidoscope. He was laying on his back looking at a kaleidoscope.
That's
It
not
was
true.
wild.
Miley was fucking alpine skiing, bro. 2 other dogs.
Whoa. Is
I
your
was
dog
like,
a,
get the fuck out of here.
is your dog a geisha, dude?
That's my. Do geishas do sexual things?
Yeah. You can bang a geisha, but you also have to like earn that. You can't just show up with a wad of cash and be like, let's bone down. You got to like talk to them. You got to take them out.
I thought it was more like a service thing.
You gotta
know?
earn it.
It's a little bit of a service. It's a little bit of an art.
Well, I'm happy that you found something you feel passionate about. And I'm excited that after our break, when we come back for season 3, to learn more about it. But for right now, I think maybe it's best that you just focus on the activity instead of talking about it. So let's just hush.
We cut back to the church. Father Lowe is trying to give a sermon, but he suddenly has a vision where everyone in the church starts wolfing out. Scary as hell.
It's pretty rad.
Yeah.
Luckily, he wakes up in bed, just covered in sweat. It was a dream, guys.
Damn it.
He yells out, "Let it end."
Would a real werewolf, like, if they got hot like that, wouldn't they just, like, pant and not sweat?
Yeah, but he's not in wolf form.
It's
Oh, okay.
human guy right now.
Oh, okay.
And who's the werewolf?
Yeah, Bones.
Yeah, but
Why are you trying to ruin it for the listener who hasn't watched the movie, who's spoiling the movie for themselves?
when I turn into a werewolf, I barely remember shit.
We cut over to the Kosloff family. They roll up into town, but the town has canceled the big 4th of July celebration.
Bullshit.
Huge
Fucking
bummer.
sucks. It's the worst thing to happen to Marty.
Mm-hmm. Marty and his family instead decide to have a barbecue at home. Marty's all bummed out, but Uncle Red, he's there, and he's like,
They
I
got
think
a
I got-
huge ass house.
It's 76, dude.
yeah,
Like, it is fucking large.
everybody had a house
Yeah,
like
you
that.
could work
dude.
at McDonald's and have a 3 fucking bedroom house.
Yeah, you would have been a minimum wage employee supporting your family, and you would have had a 5-year mortgage on a house like that.
What's the interest rate?
1%, and your down payment was a nice handshake.
You look honest.
Mm-hmm.
You could have the house out on Tabernacle, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's not just a house, dude. It's a fucking estate. These people got land.
Well, it's got the house, and then it's got like another section, and then it's got like the outdoor, like covered where the picnic table is and shit. I'm like, God damn,
Yeah.
it's a fucking house.
It's the type of shit most millennials have on their Pinterest wall now.
yeah.
Marty's all
What's
bummed
Pinterest?
out. Uncle Red has got a surprise for him. He's finished the Mach 2 of the Silver Bullet. Guys, this thing is sweet.
Here's your bottle.
Crunch.
This thing is basically a motorcycle.
As if Gary Busey didn't already remind me of my grandfather enough. This is a cold hot dog eater, Grandpa. When he says I worked hard on this deal, holy shit. My grandfather also referred to everything as a deal. Like, hand me that deal right there, and he'd be pointing to the remote. Or, like, it was just any noun could be a deal.
Mm-hmm.
It was comforting.
Concise.
Yep.
So this is bringing back some good memories.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Ass Busey.
Yeah. He drank wild turkey. He drank, what's
Shit.
the other, is it Canada Dry?
It's like a ginger ale.
Yeah.
Is there a whiskey with Canada or Canadian in the name?
It's
Or like Canadian Mist or something.
yes.
Yeah.
That's
Or-
what it is.
Yeah.
Crown Royal is the big Canadian.
No, I think he was.
Crown Royal is a Canadian whiskey, but
Might have to
Canadian
look up.
Mist is a whiskey, yes.
Let me look at this bottle. Oh, yeah. That's it, baby.
When Busey unveils the new Silver Bullet, he gives a great, like, ta-da! It's pretty
It's
good.
pretty fucking sweet, man.
And it's
I'd fucking roll around on this.
it's
thing.
more tricycle than it is wheelchair.
Yeah. It's a motorized trike that, like, you've probably seen one driving around on the highway.
Some retiree
Mhm.
that's, a late in life Harley enthusiast.
Yep.
2 wheels is too dangerous for
Yeah.
me. I'm going 3.
His diabetes restrains him to 3 wheels.
The old lady can't take a fall on this, but I won't admit either can I. But I'll blame it on her.
Oh, how comfortable to sit on a hot, sun-baked leather seat with your fucking legs spread.
It's the only
Big-
way I can come.
Big spooning the man that barely kept a roof over your head
Mhm.
until his
And
social
there's no-
security kicked
and-
in.
And it's almost hit you a dozen times.
Red makes sure the coast is clear, tells Marty, I feel like a virgin on prom night.
I think that's the most Midwest we've ever got right there.
Marty takes off on this bad boy, and it is powerful. He's out there popping wheelies and shit. He's passing cars on the road.
I mean, there are over-the-shoulder fucking shots where that is Corey Haim doing 55 miles an hour. Fucking wild. I wonder what rig they had set up.
Riggs,
Riggs. We cut back to the barbecue. The family's having a good time. Red goes to leave. He kind of tells Marty, like, why don't you walk me over to my car? Says, I'm sorry the 4th of July got canceled. Here's a shitload of fireworks. Don't get caught with those.
Does he call her friend Garbanzo?
Yeah. I bet she ate a shitload of garbanzo beans at the barbecue. That night, Marty, he just can't fight the urge. He kind of crawls down his own lattice work. Every house in this town.
Was it lattice or was it a antenna tower?
Oh, his might be an antenna. You might be right. But he crawls down there. He gets on the silver bullet, grabs this fucking bag of fireworks, and he goes over to this little bridge, starts shooting them off. He's having quite a time, but in the water below, we can see a werewolf reflection. Marty goes to set up another firework, but he gets kind of spooked. Did he hear something?
This is another wild thing, too. It's like Corey Haim is lighting these fucking things off 3 feet away.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he kind of just barely pushes back from the firework. Well, they didn't have those big Carpenter cinematic wide cameras, dude.
Fair enough.
Got to keep that kid's face right next to those fireworks. All right, this werewolf, it shoots out at Marty. He goes into defense mode. He grabs the one thing he's got, a rocket. He fires it off. It hits the werewolf right in the eye. He takes off on the silver bullet.
It's a good shot. Not the firework, but just when he gets hit. He's like...
I think the whole sequence is excellent.
Had to be shot twice. Because it didn't match up, apparently. So they had to go back. And then there was so much... Autumn has already kicked in. So they had to focus in on Marty more. Those shots that they reshot.
When you were stepped away, that's what I brought up, was how fucking close Corey Haim was to these fireworks.
That's why.
Going off. Okay.
Get your head right up next to him, Marty. Corey, don't be afraid.
You don't need eyebrows.
The next morning, Marty tells Jenny what he saw. Or Janie, sorry. She somehow just completely believes this. She's bought in.
I wonder if she's got a gun.
She devises her own scheme. She's going to go around town and see if anyone has a recent eye deformity. And then she'll know that Marty was telling the truth.
I think this is a pretty creepy ass, like, sequence, though.
Yeah,
just with the music and...
What are they going for? Like, is there something with, like, the creepiness of all these men staring at her?
I think it's just she actually believes in her brother, maybe? Finally?
Yeah, like maybe she's like suspicious of the entire town now. But there are a lot of weird shots where, like, one, she goes into a bar and she's like, has anybody seen Mr. Lawrence? And she's like, oh, there you are. She like, they're just all like, they don't even say anything almost.
Yeah, and then in the barber shop, she just walks up to the guy and unwraps his head.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a great excuse, right? The bottle collection.
Yeah. It's the reveal. I mean, they're just trying to tease it.
She goes all around town collecting bottles and cans from the locals. At the very end of the day, she's like, I guess Marty just made all that shit up. She goes over to the church to drop off her collections. And guys, we see a big-ass bandage over Reverend Lawrence's eye.
What?
Janie doesn't clock this right away. She starts unloading everything. A mouse scurries by and scares her. She falls into some cans and finds the remains of the Peacemaker bat. Reverend Lowe walks up, says, are you having some trouble? Janie sees his eye now. She's like, I must, like, not be feeling too well. Lou's like, well, I could take you home, or you could come in, like, relax for a little bit.
Take a nap.
Yeah. She says, no, I think I better just be getting on home. And as she leaves, Reverend Lawrence says, make sure to tell your brother hello for me.
Is there an opportunity for her to like drop a bunch of puns to be like, no, I see that I see that I must go home solo, single, by myself, you know,
Yeah.
mono.
I don't see the point in that.
It'd have been a little too much, maybe.
Okay.
But if you just slid one in there, that'd be good. Back home, Marty is making a letter from magazine clippings. It reads, I know who you are. I know what you are. Why don't you kill yourself? And guys, I've been mailing you this letter every day this week.
And again, you should let the glue dry before you fold it, because I can't open. I don't know what it says.
It's
Bones,
all messed up.
Bones, that's not glue.
Is it geisha face paint?
You'd wish. Some time passes. Another Jane VO tells us that they've been mailing this letter multiple days, and eventually they had to tell Uncle Red. We cut over to this meeting. Holy jumped up bald-headed Jesus Palomina. He says, now from him, I'd expect it. Sometimes I think your common sense got paralyzed with your legs. Fuck. What a vicious burn on this kid. Red tells these two, you are being crazy. You gotta cut this shit out. He says, I wish I had a tape recorder so you two could just hear how crazy you sound.
I mean, he does a really good job of being like, that's not what this is.
I do like these. It's like these two scenes together, though, because you get this brief little one where he's like, this is insane. You guys are being crazy. You cannot do this anymore. And then it just cuts to him in the car with them on like a stakeout.
He says something about psychopaths are more active when the moon is out, right? Like he is trying to counter argument like the werewolf logic as much as he can.
Yeah.
I think he does a great job though, all the way till he sees it. Like he
I agree.
I think he doesn't believe it until he sees it.
I think there's something in the performance too about like how drunk is he? Like is he a little bit more sober when he's like, no, I'm not gonna fucking do this, but then he he loosens up and he's like, fuck, I'll play along a little bit. All right, I'll go get a fucking bullet, man. Who gives a shit, Like,
well, we do have a lady involved. I don't know. Did you cover that? Has that happened yet?
that's when when he calls him after the firework thing.
Oh,
He's
okay.
in bed,
Yeah.
and he
right.
lifts up, and there's a babe in his bed.
Where you think you're getting the like, this is 85. We're gonna see some mountaintops, and you don't.
Oh, I thought he must be rekindling with his third wife.
No.
They're going to work things out.
Nah, dude, he's
She's probably the reason the third wife's leaving.
he's sucking down wild turkey at his nephew's house. No. He ain't rekindling that shit.
We cut to Red at a stakeout with the kids. He's like, all right, so you're saying you took this guy's eye out, and now he's outside the church painting a thermometer. I think he'd be in a hospital or something.
It's not a thermometer. It's a fucking like raise money thing.
Yeah, but a lot of times they represent how much money has been raised inside a thermometer that they keep painting up.
I think you just thought that was a thermometer your whole life.
The line in the movie is he's outside painting a thermometer.
It's a bar with a little bulb on the bottom, dude. It's a thermometer.
They mark like $0 at the bottom,
Mhm.
and I guess in the 70s, probably like $1,000 at the top, and everybody's like, "There's no way you can get that much money together."
Well, then sometimes they meet their goal and they go past it, and people will go above and beyond, and they'll put on like a little thing like the mercury blew out the top.
Mm-hmm. Marty goes over to watch his buddies play baseball. As he's leaving the game, we see Reverend Lowe is tailing him.
My whole life has changed.
Depressing fucking scene here, man, but effective. With Marty watching the kids playing.
Did we need it this late?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, I thought you meant the car stuff, and I was about to say my pastor tried to run me off the road several times.
Well, you kept stealing the collection plate.
Mm-hmm.
Drinking all the wine.
He's got a thermometer he's trying to fill in with red paint.
I would dump the money out, though, and just take the plate. Trying to get a set of 4 for the family.
Eating your spaghetti on a wicker plate.
No, they were nice, dude. They're like gold. I mean, not real gold, but like gold colored. They'd have like a little piece of felt in the bottom with like a cross in it.
Felty ass spaghetti.
Have you eaten off your Donald Trump plates yet?
I don't dare take those out of the locked fucking china cabinet.
I have not ate off my JFK plates.
Well, it'd
Yeah,
just be
that'd be-
you couldn't eat pasta. It'd be so sad.
Yeah, all that red smear all over them.
Have you got the Reagan plates out, Bones?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, fuck yeah, dude. What about the W plates?
Now the Bush family plates, they're holding up the rest of the plates.
All right, Lowe's trying to run Marty off the road. We get a little back and forth.
I couldn't
He's
think of what to do as a joke in response to Reagan, and I almost said, no, but I will put the Nancy Reagan one in my lap. And that's as far as I'm going to go. Look it up in your own time.
Yeah, she was famously could suck a dick.
She liked to S to D, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I already said it, Dan. You can just say it.
She
I already
liked,
ripped the Band-Aid off.
she liked to give fellatio.
Not only liked, but apparently like
Was good.
top tier,
Yeah.
probably stopped nuclear war.
Isn't it crazy that that's probably her most enduring legacy?
Now.
No, she was an alcoholic first and gave great head second.
Yeah. And, basically helped, lead legislation or restricted stuff that led to a lot of unnecessary AIDS deaths. But
Drain out those balls.
All right, some of us choose to remember the good stuff, Bones. All right, these guys are going back and forth. Eventually, Marty is able to kind of like get up on this old rickety bridge. Thinks he's gotten away from Lowe. Let's see. Below, he like parks and just walks up. He comes into the bridge. He says, "Marty, I wouldn't willingly hurt someone. You're about to have a terrible accident." Suddenly, this old farmer like pulls out on the other side of the bridge. Marty starts screaming for him. He gets off the tractor. Lowe leaves.
There's no way that dude hears that kid.
I don't know. Haim is definitely nailing that preteen squealy yell
Yeah.
that can pierce through anything.
This is 76, Kron? He's on that fucking old Ford tractor. I don't know.
It's not like he's moving very fast away from the bridge.
He's competing with the motor, the muffler, and like the crunch of the gravel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm across, and I'm in the kitchen. My wife is in the living room. I can't fucking hear her.
You know how you solve it?
Hmm.
He's got a few extra fireworks,
That's true.
and he just lights the fireworks and starts throwing them, and that gets
Or at least some
farmer's
poppers.
attention. Yeah.
He's throwing handfuls out.
I think Preacher though's killing in this scene though. Pretty good.
It's terrifying. He says something about like, I did that girl a favor because she was going to kill herself, so I kept her from going to hell.
Mm-hmm.
I killed that pot farmer.
Yeah, because he was a bad man.
I killed
He
that
knows what he's doing.
drunk train worker. He was making the tracks all wobbly.
And what you didn't know is I tore this guy Jason Voorhees apart as well.
Back home, Red still isn't convinced that any of this is real. But he bends down to look at Marty's busted up fender. It's got a bunch of blue paint on it. Just the exact shade of Lowe's car. Red goes
What
to see
color's a Reverend's car?
blue.
Blue.
That blue. Red goes off to see the sheriff. This is kind of a funny cut where you see the sheriff being like, "That's the craziest goddamn story I've ever heard." He's like, "Do you believe any of it?" Red kind of just nods. Says, "At the very least, I think you might want to go check on Lowe."
She's like, give it 20 years. You're going to be invited to a TV show where it's all a dream. That's the craziest story you've ever heard.
Cut to Holler. He's out that night, poking around the church. He finds Lowe's car, starts checking it out. He notices the sidewall is pretty scraped up. He walks further back and Lowe pops up. Says, "Are you looking for me?" Holler says, "I think you better come with me." "It's not my fault." Lowe starts transforming, guys. He becomes a werewolf. Again, kills Holler with the Peacemaker. This fucking wolf loves that bat, dude.
Why make it? Why get all bloody? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you kill a guy with a bat, you're going to get some blood on you.
Not as much as eating and ripping a guy apart. You know what I'm saying?
Probably an easier effect to shoot, right?
Hmm.
Budget-wise, yes.
Sometimes later, the kids are talking to Red. Holler has disappeared. The kids are like, "All right, we got one thing left." They give Red their necklaces, which are silver.
Medallions. Medallions, please.
Okay, medallions. They say, "Make these into a silver bullet." Marty says, "I'm pretty sure he's coming after me. I heard him and he knows that I know, but he's going to wait until the moon is full."
Well,
So I
yeah,
think-
you sent him a fucking letter, dude. Multiple letters.
They didn't sign them. That's why they clipped them out of newspapers. I think the whole, like, they kind of lay out in this movie that, like, Lowe is a werewolf all the time, but it's like as you get closer to the full moon, he's more werewolf versus earlier, he's more man.
I think, yeah, the closer the moon, the easier he can change.
Mm-hmm.
Is there? He's also supposed to take away like that he's getting more frustrated as well, like as walls are closing in on him.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like double work for this fucking guy. I mean, he's killing as a werewolf, and then he's got to do the fucking funerals as a preacher. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is double work. You get the joy, and then you got the actual work of, are we going to cremate this guy that I tore apart last night? Or are we going to, am I going to try to like have to put makeup on him to make him look like a regular person for an open casket?
He'd be loving it if he was like a funeral home operator.
Yeah, he should get into that business, not the Christianity thing.
Okay. So in our werewolf script, the guy will be he'll own a funeral home.
Yeah, and that'd be his whole MO. Like, I'm just bringing in fucking business to make me money.
Yeah. And he's got to kill bad people though, so we like him, like Dexter.
Yeah, I was thinking all disabled people.
This sounds like less of a movie and more of a Tales from the Crypt episode. He's just got to get his comeuppance at the end of it.
Oh, yeah, he's going to get it real bad.
All right, Red goes to see a gunsmith. He makes up some story. Hey, my little nephew, he just discovered the Lone Ranger.
If you're in a wheelchair and you are a werewolf, are you still in the wheelchair when you're a werewolf?
I think it.
Or do you?
I think it depends on what's the healing factor in that lore.
Or do you get like? Can you use that strength to run around? That's a good fucking question.
Remember in Doom, the Carl Urban The Rock Doom, recently covered on Weekly Podcast Massacre? There's that disabled guy, like when he turns into that beast that has like the wheels on his back end. It's fucking gnarly.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the one he kills with the chainsaw in the first person sequence, I think.
Oh shit, that's right. Kron's never seen Doom.
I've never seen Doom.
Let me tell you, buddy, you ain't missing anything.
Everybody makes it sound so good.
Have you ever seen a Gamer?
No.
With Gerald Butler?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, good. Noted.
I've seen some other butlers, though, that are better than London Has Fallen.
Oh, you mean the Oprah Winfrey produced movie, The Butler, with Forrest Whitaker?
Yep.
Yeah. Is there a Nancy Reagan dick sucking scene in that one?
Dude, I really want my dick sucked by Nancy Reagan now.
Mm-hmm.
Just to be like, I've had better.
Yeah, there's one we should have kept.
It's
on
just
ice.
for the story, right? I mean, at a certain point, you should be allowed some infidelity to be like, I'm told this is really good.
I'm going to level with. She's my one hall pass.
Does she have my question is, does she have to be fucked up to suck a good dick? Or is that just she could suck sober as well?
However she likes to do it, dude. I'll pump her full of gin martinis. I don't care.
And some other stuff.
All
We've
right.
gone off the rails here, guys.
All right. Uncle Red says, my nephew just discovered the Lone Ranger. He holds up the necklaces. This guy's like, you want me to make a silver bullet for you? We get all these little montages of this guy putting this thing together.
It's cool shit. It's cool shit.
It is cool shit. After some time has passed, Red goes again to see the gunsmith. He says, it's done. Here it is. I think this might be the nicest piece of work I've ever done. It's got a low grain load so it won't tumble. Ought to be pretty accurate. Red's like, yeah, but don't you remember? It's just a gag. Who's going to shoot a 44 bullet made out of silver? This guy's like, what about a werewolf? I like this scene.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really explain it, and you don't need to, like, why this gunsmith is in the
He knows what's
know.
up.
Yeah. He's just cool as hell.
He's reading the papers, man.
It's also probably like it's a fun task, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a world builder. It's like, all right, there's somebody else with us.
Yeah, there's another guy in the know.
There are other people in this movie.
Yeah, but other people that acknowledge that
Fucking
werewolves are real.
crazy, man. Like, how many people are they gonna have?
Dan, give us a character count at the end of this. All right, we cut over to the night of Halloween, the next full moon. Marty's parents are going away. They drop the kids off with Red. Red is like, I guess he made up some scheme where he won a vacation getaway and gave it to them.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why he just wasn't like, yo, you want me to watch the kids this weekend and y'all can get away? Like, but he did win something, like a magazine
Subscription to Popular Mechanics.
Yeah, but it seems like he's going way out of pocket on this thing.
Yeah, did he pay for like the hotel and shit?
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool uncle then. I'm gonna pay for your parents to go out and then possibly shoot a fucking werewolf tonight.
We do cut to our crew. They've all fallen asleep.
It's weird
Red
how
wake-
life works sometimes.
Red wakes up because he gets burned by the cigarette in his hands.
Gary, what do werewolves mean?
Werewolf?
Yeah.
Now, werewolf is a supernatural made up, not real. Now, werewolf, WEREWOLF,
Yes.
that stands for we exit reality, enter where odd life fails.
And how does that pertain to our story here with this werewolf?
I don't know. I didn't prepare that answer.
You had that other thing locked and loaded?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good though.
Mm-hmm.
You believe that there is werewolves out there in human existence?
What I do
today?
believe in is Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Have you eaten off your Donald Trump plates?
Only on January 6th.
I heard that, dude.
What I do is I put the plates in the armoire on the other side of the compound. And I hire a man to make fortifications. I will charge, climb, crawl to get to the plate.
I'm glad you're staying active.
And at the end, I
least.
overturn the table.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of seem like a paper plate kind of guy to me.
It's disrespectful, Dan.
We only got the one Earth there.
Gary Busey, Republican, eco-conscious.
Thank you, Gary.
Yeah.
Guy's a conundrum.
His
All right.
definition of werewolf, very good though.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tough one. I can't lock it in. There's like a little bit of Southern sometimes. The growl is weird. Watching I'm with Busey over the last few weeks, still the funniest thing he said was, I promise to buy you 200 pounds of corn dogs. It's fucking great.
Mm-hmm. Was he in on that show? Like, was he in on the joke?
I
of
think
it?
so. I think he's
I think
leaning
so.
into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the most recent one I watched was him trying to get the kid to like on a date. He sets him up on a date and puts a little earpiece in him and is like across the restaurant telling him what to say. And throughout the episode, Busey just gets worse and worse. And then they go play mini golf. And Busey just like interjects, and the date is like, "Oh my God, Gary Busey, I love you." She's like, "You're great in terms of endearment." And he's like, "That's Nick Nolte."
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Red wakes up. They've all fallen asleep, but he had a cigarette. They didn't have that shit in him yet that snuffed him out too quickly. So it goes all the way
70s,
up.
man.
Burns his fingers. He gets the kids up. He's like, "It is 10 till 3 in the morning.
You are going
two-
to bed.
You're going to bed. I'm going to set up the rest of the goddamn night with this gun in my lap because that's what I said I'd do." Jane shrieks. She says she saw the werewolf. Red goes over to the window to have a look, but he doesn't see anything. Says, "I feel like a horse's ass right now." He unloads the gun. As soon as he does, all the lights go out.
I get it though, with the like how jumpy everybody is.
Mm-hmm.
I get the like being responsible of like, all right, this is ridiculous. I think I believe that. I know it's mostly just to add this tension coming up, but I'm here for it.
Marty says he's here. The werewolf busts through the wall. Gun and bullet go flying in opposite directions. Jane gets the gun, but the bullet rolled like down into an air vent. There's some tense shit here. The kids are trying to get the bullet out. Red's getting thrown around the entire goddamn room.
Looks
by this
great,
werewolf.
man.
Mm-hmm. I think Busey did his own stunts for this.
I believe
Like
it.
there was a part where he actually got his arm cut and shit.
It's all one take as well.
Finally, they're able to get the gun and the bullet back together. Marty grabs it, loads it up, squeezes off a shot into this werewolf's other eye. He slowly transforms back into the Reverend Lowe. He gets one final jump scare here when he's in man form. Then he just collapses on the ground. Marty says that's it, he's dead. It was quite a scare for everyone. Jane asks Marty, "Hey, are you all right?" He says, "Yeah, everything but my legs." She says, "What?" He says, "I don't think I'm going to be able to walk again." They all have a laugh. Marty and Jane tell each other that they love one another. Roll the credits. Silver Bullet, 1985, directed by Daniel Attias. Dan, hit me with that research.
Gentleman Silver Bullet from 1985, directed by Dan Attias. Was released October 11th of 1985. Danny Duck. Budget of $7 million. Brought in a box office of $12.3 million. That week at the box office, you could also catch Better Off Dead.
Oh, great weekend at the movies.
With Joan Cusack. Next week, you could also catch Reanimator.
Whoa,
And-
even better.
And the week before, you catch Arnold and Commando.
Oh,
Just
Baby.
live at the goddamn theater.
Let's just really go back to the 80s. All right. Tarker's Mill, or whatever the fuck they call it, where all this takes place. It's a fictional town, of course, in the Stephen King universe.
the town's made up, but
adaptation.
the werewolf is real.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Chester's Mill is
Well,
under the dome.
They had to change the name of the town and the people to protect the innocent.
Werewolves' rights. Werewolves have a union. Derry and It from
They meet
1990,
once a month.
Castle Rock.
And you're strictly anti, right, Dan?
No, I'm for the werewolf union. It's the one. And I'm like, all right, that makes sense.
Those
Castle
those
Rock, of
pickets
course.
smell, man. Like those picket lines.
Just depends on the time of the month.
Well, they don't hold their signs up high enough because they're all sniffing each other's ass.
Mhm. You do not want to scab across that line, though.
They don't pick up their own shit.
It'll be your last day of work.
If you got to cross the line, you throw a tennis ball across the street.
That's usually what ends it. All right, Derry is also another made-up town, and Castle Rock. Derry, of course, from It from 1990. Needful Things is Castle Rock from 93. Castle Rock is also in Cujo from 1983. Pet Cemetery from 1989, and others.
Have you guys seen Needful Things?
It's been a long time.
Not very good.
According to the director, Gary Busey did ad-lib a great deal for Uncle Red. I think Bones mentioned that last week. But this was checked with Stephen King, and Stephen King was okay with the ad-libs.
Because he would do the written word, and then on another take, he would ask, I
think I got something better. But yeah, and mostly they used what he ad-libbed. Our Werewolf Dream sequence utilized a total of 70 extras that are divided into 4 groups with various levels of makeup and costume. We had close-up shots, action shots. So that was a pretty big scene there for the church. The shooting did start without a proper werewolf suit. Producer Dino De Laurentiis was unhappy with the werewolf that was used in the film. He was pretty disappointed and felt they needed something more in your face and stuff like that. I think they put like a dancer they hired for the guy in the suit. And I think our actor did go a few rounds as well in the suit.
It was my understanding that he was always in it, because I think Everett McGill has some dance training as well. And Dino wanted the werewolf to be visible immediately, where
I think Steven wanted it dark.
Coscarelli was like, no, we need to take a page out of Jaws and only limit it up until the end.
Show so much.
Yeah.
I think that would have been the way to go. I mean, I think it's kind of the biggest downfall of this movie in a way. Like, the wolf does not look great. If you had had the opening beheading and then just real sparse throughout, I think it could have been a little bit better.
I do think it adds to the child element a little bit, though. Like the approachability of it, particularly how the suit looks, because it doesn't look scary.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Dan.
Are you all right? In Cycle of the Werewolf, which this is based off of by Stephen King, a murder took place over the course of a year. So a murder was committed every month. But in the film, of course, is covered over several months from spring to autumn. Brady's dad does mention the cemetery of Harmony Hill. This is another tie-in to Stephen King's 1979's Salem's Lot. All right. Joe
writes
Wright,
a lot of shit, huh?
I don't know how that dude pumps the shit out, but he figured it out.
I think he was famously an alcoholic that did a lot of cocaine.
Well, we've covered a few. One, at least. Joe Wright, who played Brady, died in 2009 at the age of 39. The following year, Corey Haim Marty passed away at the age of 38. Filming did begin in October of 1984 and finished right before Christmas. Don Casarelli was scheduled to direct, but left over creative differences. Second film released by Stephen King that year. The other one was Cat's Eye from 1985.
You guys seen
John-
Cat's Eye?
Mm-mm.
No, no.
That's an anthology one, right?
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
two. It's 2 or 3. I can't remember. Better than Needful Things. So there you go.
John Candy was considered for Uncle Red.
I prefer him as Uncle Buck.
Yeah. He got an uncle in there. And I think
I would have liked to see him fight off the werewolf, though, with that big pizza spatula that he uses.
that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. That's it. That's all I got for Silver Bullet from 1985.
Thank you, Dan. Guys, let's do it.
Rate my box.
Take me up inside.
A reminder for listeners, this has an average user rating, 3.2 on Letterboxd. Dan, you and I both locked Kron in at a 4.0. Dan, I'm going to give you a 4.0 as well.
Bones, I'm going to go 4.0.
Cronald?
Well, let's just keep it going with a round of 4s. 4s all around.
Danimal?
Gentlemen, Silver Bullet from 1985 is nothing but nostalgia, nostalgia, nostalgia for me. It was one of the movies that I was allowed to watch as a child. So I've watched this a ton of times. You guys know I'm a sucker for those monster dogs, baby. Those werewolves. How, woo, yeah. Love it. I think Gary Busey has a wonderful performance as Uncle Red here. I think Bones kind of hit on that with like when our Marty's going up the stairs and how his face just fades and just how he's going through a third divorce, and Marty and the other girl, whatever her name is, we don't really care. That's kind of his lifeline there. That's kind of keeping him going. I love how he doesn't believe that there's a werewolf until there's actually a werewolf. I think our preacher here does a wonderful job as well. I think it's 50-50 on this werewolf. I think it looks really good sometimes, and I think it looks pretty shitty sometimes. I really enjoy the second kill of the pregnant girl because it shows the scratching and all that up close. I really like that. And I think Corey Haim does a wonderful job as well as Marty. So acting around, I think, is really good. Terry O'Quinn is good as our sheriff here. I love how involved the town is and everything. Of just, oh, the fucking sheriff's not doing anything, and everybody's meeting at the bar and shit. This has always been a classic for me. I've always loved this movie. It's a 4.5 for me, guys. Wow. It's just a childhood favorite for me. So it ranks really high for me. It's probably not the best werewolf movie out there, but this is in probably the top 3 for me of them monster dog movies, baby.
4.5 from Dan. Guys, like I said at the beginning of the episode, I had only seen this a few years ago, and my recollection of that night is just a massive grin on my face. I thoroughly enjoy this movie. I love the fact that I came to it late for the sake of being able to watch it fresh and enjoy, but also bummed because I think this is kind of like Dan said, 11, 12 years old. This has been right in my wheelhouse. It's not too scary. It's not too gory. It rides this interesting line where you take out a few things and you probably get a PG-13's around at this time, right? '84, I think, kicked off. Nonetheless, I think the big takeaway on this week's watch was how good the characterization is, particularly how each character has and deals with, for lack of a better term, some sort of burden. A sister who is sort of dictated to take care of a disabled brother, a boy who is disabled but doesn't let it defeat him, an uncle who kind of only finds solace from his alcoholism in his positive nephew, a distant father who's barely in the fucking movie, a mother dealing with a disabled son, a pastor or a preacher who is a fucking werewolf, who, like Dan mentions, is reluctantly murdering people and then having to deliver their sermons. I think it's very rich and dense that way, but it's also the type of movie that you can throw on every Halloween. It's on in the background. The script is tight. 4.0, man. Like, I originally had this thing at a 3. Way low. 4.0 for Bones on Silver Bullet.
All right, dude. Silver Bullet. I think you guys have both kind of touched on it, but I would honestly say my biggest takeaway from this movie is just that, like, this is a lot of fun. This hits that kind of, mid to late 80s time period where horror movies were coming out that, yeah, they had like gore and violence, but they also didn't take things way too seriously. I don't know, man. It's just kind of in that sweet spot of years for, like Bones said, stuff you could just throw on in the background and you'll have a good time watching it. You could put this on once a year and have an enjoyable time. I mean, I will say, like, say what you will about John Death from Above Landis, but what he did in American Werewolf, like, all of that looks better than the werewolf effects in this movie, right? Like, the transformation and the ending werewolf are better in that film than they are here, but it doesn't really like bump me too much on this movie. I feel like you get 2 really great kills up front. The guy getting his head knocked off and then that pregnant lady getting torn to shreds. And I feel like it was kind of a smart decision to like take what budget you have, put it up top, and then as you get more invested in these characters, you can kind of roll off how intricate or detailed the kills are, right? Because by that point in the movie, I really like Corey Haim's character and I like Uncle Red. And I just like seeing how they interact and what they do and how the town works together. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The movie just feels like like a comfortable watch in a way. I like how small the town feels, how interconnected it all is. Like, for the budget limitations and Dino kind of trying to steer this thing in a direction it maybe shouldn't have gone, the end product is still a really fun, enjoyable watch. So I'm going to be a 4.0 on Silver Bullet.
Good job, Dan.
Thank you.
Silver Bullet, let's see. Guys, Silver Bullet would have an average score from the 3 of us of 4.17. This thing would end up at number 17 on the big list. This would currently be right below Rad and right above Live Wire.
Hell yeah.
That's a triple feature.
That's an electric weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Kron, Dan, and I both got a 1.0.
At the end of this round, ending scores are Bones 8.5, Dan 7.5, Kron 7.0.
Getting a little close.
Mm-hmm.
Only a few more episodes in the season proper. What's up, Dan?
What's up? You want me guys? Hey. If you're on social media, please Threads, Instagram, Letterboxd. We're there. 5-day rentals. Check us out. If you're on Spotify or Apple, please rate, review, and subscribe to the show. It helps us bring the show to more people. If you really want to fuck with us, there is a link to our Discord on every episode of 5-day rentals that drops every Wednesday. Get on there. Fuck with us there. We're always there. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah, and
So join that Discord.
Give Dan an emoji already.
Give me that eggplant emoji. I think it means penis. I'm not
Penis.
sure.
Precisely encircle navel in semen.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Gary. If you want to reach out, please email us at 5dayrentals.podcast@gmail.com. We'll take questions. We might guest on your show. I don't know. Or, whatever. Just fucking email us something. We'll respond. But other than that,
I feel like a
Wolfpack,
horse's
baby.
ass.
What was yours, Dan?
I think you wooed or howled.
I just howled like a wolf.
Okay, the audio didn't come through again. I was very confused.
It's happened, I think, every time he's howled. His family's been woken up.
Let's see. Jumped up, bald-headed Jesus Palomina. Goodbye.
Later. Welcome back, listener, to the After Showers. Thank you, Kron, for taking us through Stephen King's Silver Bullet.
You didn't need to scratch so hard in the shower, dude.
I played the werewolf stuff really minimally on the actual episode, so it was a little pent up when we got in there, okay?
Okay, well, it still hurt.
Yeah. But thank you for taking the blow dryer to me to help dry me off afterwards. I know it benefits you because then I don't smell as wet doggish the rest of the day, but still appreciate it. Dan, thank you for taking the comb through me. You guys do a lot for me, and I do appreciate it. And there's only one way I can repay you, and that is to reveal the climactic, conclusory, final conclusion.
Conclusive?
Conclusive? Conclusionary? Why do I feel like there's a conclusionary?
What would be end for Gary Busey? END.
END. Exit now, damn it.
That's pretty good.
Wet Ass Busey. Dan, this was your category, and you said just had to have a Busey in it. Gary or a Jake. You both selected Gary. I felt a responsibility to expand within the parameters of the list. Now, I felt that responsibility, but I disregarded it.
Good.
Would you guys like to take a guess what I have selected for my pick for Wet Ass Busey?
I mean, for 2 weeks, I've been guessing Under Siege. You've already kind of said that's not it, but I've guessed it this long. I'm not leaving it behind. That's my guess, Bones.
Dan, you want to take a crack?
I really haven't looked at any of those movies because I'd like to be surprised. But if you really want to know, it's Lolly Madonna XXX.
Not one I came across. Now, 2 weeks.
Like across the DVD case.
Oh, steelbook, dude. Wipes clean. Dan, on your episode, I pointed out that there's an interesting thing when you go through the Busey filmography or the Gary Busey filmography. There are two particular points in time that are quite interesting, right? There is the motorcycle crash, and then there is the mid to late 90s OD that took him further down the rabbit hole. Dan, you got us kind of in the middle there. Post-crash, pre-OD, POD.
Satellite.
Yeah. Kron, you got us before the motorcycle crash, right? He's a little out of shape. He's probably drinking, partying, but the brain's a little bit still intact, right?
Fully cogent.
Yep. So I wanted to stick to a particular era, more on the latter end. But before we get really into the Christian heavy area, right?
Yeah.
I feel like there's a certain point where you go, I'm not going to make fun of this, right?
He did some full moon stuff around then, too. I think he was more just doing whatever was paying the bills at a certain point.
Yes. So, for the first time in a long time, I scoured the Tubies, the Plutos, the Primes, and watched a lot of his late 90s, early 2000s stuff to see what just would bite, right? Thought I had something selected, but something else popped up, and I thought, well, this is on Prime. Let me throw this on, and goddamn, it was 1 a.m. when I started this, and I stayed up all fucking night. And I believe I texted you guys the next morning. I cannot fucking wait. We are going to 1997, and we are watching The Rage.
Sweet.
We got Lorenzo Lamas as an FBI profiler who is on the hunt. That's all I'm going to say, because as it is revealed to you what's going on in this movie, you will scratch your head, but you'll also jump with joy. You guys got your letterbox pulled up?
No.
There you
Promise.
go. Currently at a 3.1, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Available on Tubi or on Prime. Now, when you start this movie, you're going to go, oh, I must have accidentally hit the button and skipped ahead a few minutes. No. When I say this movie fucking starts, dude. And it does not let up. This movie is a masterclass in exposition and taking breaths, because it does not let up. And it knows how to snowball into one of the most wild movies I've seen in a really long time. I'm probably building it up way too much, but I had an absolute blast, and I cannot wait for you guys to watch this. Now, that's me assuming you haven't seen it.
Nope.
First watch.
Is this? I haven't even heard of it.
I came across this movie when I was just like flipping through Busey's filmography, but
Okay.
I don't know anything about it outside of what you've just said.
Okay.
Haven't seen it.
Man, I really hope. Now, Silver Bullet, I think that's a big enough movie. Hopefully a lot of people are listening to this week of. Please watch The Rage. I will tell you, this episode will probably have a disclaimer at the front of it. I don't know why me, the softy that I am, has a tendency to select some pretty rough shit. Goddamn, I'm excited, boys. The Rage, 1997.
You got me excited now.
Mm-hmm.
Disclaimer. Busey,
I mean,
97.
yeah. Like there's times where this feels like, oh, this is a made-for-TV movie. And then you'll go, no, what fucking channel could show this shit? Some incredible stunts. A wild performance from Busey. I'm really hoping this becomes a 5DR classic. Like, we've uncovered something here.
Now, is he in the whole time, or are we just getting like a little chunk?
I will say we're not getting a silver bullet level Busey, but
But at least a surviving the game.
we're probably getting him between the two. Okay.
Mm.
I don't think it's a spoiler to say that he's the antagonist of this movie, but his presence is known. And there's a certain reveal in the movie where you're just going to think about Busey the whole time. Doesn't matter that Renegade's on screen.
Good. I'm excited. I'm excited for bad guy Busey more than anything.
Yeah. I fear I've built it up too much, but like I said, it was the night of we had done something, and I was like, let me just sit up for like 10 or 15 minutes. And I'd actually talked to another friend of the show. We were actually texting about something else back and forth, and he shared a movie, and I was like, oh, this has so-and-so. I think they have a movie coming up soon that I'm going to select. And I was locked in, and I thought, well, I've got 20 minutes. I got to go to bed. I don't want to watch a Vikings. So let me just try out this other one. And like I said, it started, and I just stayed up. And I love that feeling, right? Like when you just randomly select something, or you come across something on cable, and time just disappears. All responsibility just disappears.
Mm-hmm.
It was like stone cold for me when I started it. I was like, I'm going to start this. And I was like, holy shit.
You love it. So I hope the listeners go on the ride with us. I mean, I think for me, the last time was Valhalla Rising. Flipping through here. Resurrection was that way.
Mm-hmm. Resurrection was a fun one to just kind of space out for an hour and a half.
You know, as opposed to like a Showgirls 2 where you go into it fearful and timid, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like we talked about, like flying being drunk with your jetpack, right? Showgirls 2, you knew the crash was coming and you were all clenched. When I watched The Rage, I was fucking hammered in a jetpack, dude. Malleable as hell. Come back next week, 1997, The Rage. We close Wet Ass Busey for Laundry Dan for Crown Howard. I am Bones. Crash and burn.
Crash and burn.
We're doing it for Busey. I had to order an 8K HDMI, and I was like, that's not even real. That's not a thing.